I'm Kevin Jacobsen of Gold Derby here with production designer Anne Seibel, who just received her first Emmy nomination for her work on Emily in Paris. Let's just start there. How did you react to the news of your nomination?
To tell you the truth, I was really surprised because I had no idea I could be nominated for the Emmy Award as a production designer. So it was like a fantastic news, and the series nominated as well. So we're all very happy.
Yeah. Well, just let's just go back to the beginning. Was there an aspect of this show and how it was pitched to you in the beginning that really made you want to sign on and just get involved with the show?
There was two things. The producer who offered me that in Paris, Raphael Benoliel, is someone I really like, and Darren Star had done 2 episodes of Sex and the City, and I really love his work. So I just wanted to do this movie. I was just really thrilled to be part of the experience as a production designer.
Hmm. Well, once you get the job, what was the initial vision for just how the show should look, just aesthetically?
I think that we just Darren and I wanted to show a Paris that will make people have a feeling of escaping. You know, something fantasy, or the Paris every American or foreigner would like to see. A Paris was fun, beautiful, enjoyable, anything you dream of, you know, like all the landmark, but in a very Parisian way. Something to make people escape from their and want to come to Paris.
Yes, which I think definitely the show came out at a very good time with obviously everyone locked up and not really able to have that kind of escapism. So, yeah. But from what I understand, you built a lot of the sets on the show, like Emily's apartment, the Savoir offices. What went into the decision-making process there of wanting to build sets instead of using, existing locations?
I think when we spoke about it with Jake and Darren, I was feeling as well that a lot of things happen in the offices. So that was something I was excited to offer to build it, and they all said yes, because it was somewhere we will come back. So it's nicer to have our own place, and the same for the 2 apartments, Gabrielle and Lily. So that's the main reason is to be able to be very free with the shooting, and it was a challenge for me to make everyone believe it was not on the location, a real one, but it worked.
Yeah, I was fooled by it, so there you go. Well, the Savoir office is very modern and it's very clean. It's like an open space concept, very tasteful, very refined. But before we talk about like the decorations and the colors and everything, what was the idea behind just the layout of the office?
We had I mean, my idea or my wish was to use a really typical Parisian Haussmannian architecture, which will be set totally in Paris, but give it another, instead of being a family home, give it another attribution, you know, like getting some modernism in it, keeping the structure of it, but opening and make it an office. But and as well, I wanted to give some modernism in it. And I had looked at a lot of series, especially 10%. I don't know what you call it, Meet My Agent, something like that. And I looked at a lot of offices in it, and from that I studied the circulation of the script and made a Haussmannian 300-meter square apartment, like an office, and that was the beginning of it. It's just this idea.
We see a lot of muted colors, you know, some teals, some whites, nothing too bold, but like I said, still very stylish and refined. What were you hoping to reflect with just the colors and the walls and the decorations of the office?
Well, my first thing is I wanted to give some depth to the set and to have a layer. Like I'm very influenced by some painters who paint different stage like that in front of each other, giving depths of field. And I as well used some colors to the character in it, and even the dressing of it is cold for Sylvie, and Lily's in a pinkish and a red, a very pinch, no, pink gray. Even if she's part of the open space, she has her own little bonbon place. The conference room was more blue, where more like not severe, but that's where everyone concentrate around the table. And so I chose the color according to what is allocated in it, and with the character of the people and the circulation as well of the characters.
Yeah. And then moving over to the apartment, the building itself, it feels like it's been around for a while, you know, very lived in, not exactly kept up that well. But how did you go about designing the interiors of the building itself?
So what we did with Darren, we decided to choose something which was a bit run down. So to contrast with her, she was coming there, and the chambre de bonne is usually the last floor for the maid, and so we decided to find a staircase which was not new painted and everything. So we looked for a lot of location, and from that we chose one staircase we liked, and the building going with it, and the area going with it, and from that I adjusted my design of the bedroom of the apartment. Chambre de bonne usually is one room, but we decided, and in my head I said, well, she's got two rooms we put together, that's why it's a bit bigger. It's not huge, it's chambre de bonne, two chambre de bonne together. And so that's how I try to keep the bedroom and the living room simple, and contrasting with what we could imagine she would live in, you know, with Savoir.
Yeah. Right. And we see Emily, she's exploring this world. We see that she definitely has an eye for fashion and, you know, presentation and things like that, but she's also pretty ignorant sometimes and kind of simple-minded when it comes to French culture in some ways. How were you able to integrate that aspect of her personality, even like when she's decorating her apartment, for example?
I when she was arriving in Paris, according to the script, she was not decorating a flat. So I imagine that it's someone had lent her apartment, or like a bed and breakfast, you know, things, or on the long term. But it was already lived in by some Parisian. And what I added, she added it, is her own American items and personality in detail she would have brought with her. That's how we designed the bedroom, not the bedroom, but the apartment of Emily. Mm-hmm. So it was more she put her own little thing after, but not at the beginning.
Right, of course. But we have a number of very well designed exteriors too, and I'm curious what you found to be the most significant challenges as far as figuring out locations and like dealing with permits, or even just figuring out how to like redesign an area just from the first season.
The first season is different from the second, but what is challenging? Well, I really enjoy looking for location, because it's always nice to have to find something somewhere which you haven't seen anywhere, or you haven't seen in that angle. So that was nice for me to scout with the scout girl. And then challenging for us and for me was the time because of on a series different from a film, you have more location, more sets in a day or in a week. So that was the challenge. It's time, and the challenge for location is we were a very big crew, lots of tracks. So sometimes people have difficulties having us. They're fine at the beginning, but then they're fed up not being able to park or anything. But we didn't have a lot of issues I mean, not on my side, and when there is, we try to solve them the better we can.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite design that you were able to create from that first season?
I think I really loved Savoir, to create Savoir. And then the first season, I'm trying not to mix up the two seasons.
I know it's tough because you just came off of season 2.
Yeah. And we had some really nice location as well. We had a really nice place. I was pleased to show Darren. It's called the Museum of Foreign Art, where we did one of these parties with the merry-go-round. That's really nice location. Where we can live in it, and all the location in restaurant overlooking the Eiffel Tower. When we did all the stand-up, we call it pop-up La Durée, or Durée, not La Durée. I mean, everything is fun on this show. I really liked any small location. There's always something to do and to enhance or to make it more fun, or make it just a little detail will change the whole look of a location you choose. So that the show is really nice for that, and I have the freedom with Darren to propose and look, and this is really enjoyable.
Nice. Well, you have done a lot of films in your career, but this, and you also did the Eddie recently, taking on these TV projects. You already sort of talked about it a little bit with comparing the two, but what would you say are the major pros and cons of working in TV versus film?
For me, I'm treating TV and film the same way in terms of design and work. I really give my maximum to both of them, whether it's episode or one big thing. The only difference I find is the logistic of it, because on series you come back to the set and you are not, when it's on stage it's no problem. When it's on location, it's giving a lot of work for the dressing department, because we have to go back and redress the same way, and sometimes as we are not in continuity in the shooting, we have different director, and we have to just adjust with that, which is a logistic timing and people long hours and rotating the sets. That's the only difference I feel at the moment, because on both of the series I worked on, I was fortunate to have a lot of freedom to design on the AD as well. The club was a set design, and it was really nice to work with. It's a nice thing. It's nice. Like both of them. I'm lucky that the two were really nice people to work with. I don't know, I haven't been on something hard, but Emily is really enjoyable, and the second season was the same. Lots of work, but fun.
Yeah. Well, you live in Paris yourself. You know the area very well, I'm sure. Are there areas of Paris that you just wish were depicted more on screen, kind of like hidden gems that someone like Emily or another American visiting Paris might not necessarily know about?
Good question. I don't know if we've been so many places, but I was mentioning yesterday, we haven't been underground yet. We haven't been to the catacomb, and there's some hidden place, like canals of under Paris, something like that. We haven't been there yet, but I'm trying maybe for next season to find an original location.
Nice. Well, since we're an awards website here at Gold Derby, I wanted to ask you about your Oscar nomination. You were nominated about a decade ago for Midnight in Paris, another Paris-themed project. What do you remember about those few months of getting the nomination and the whole whirlwind of being recognized by your peers and attending events? Like, what was that like for you?
It was like a dream, because I was not expecting any really to be nominated. I thought the producer was making a joke on me because no one mentioned Midnight in Paris before the Oscar. So I was thinking it's a joke. And no, it was not. And I've been really happy to go there because one of my pair, like you say, is Rick Carter, the designer, and he was nominated at the same time with the two designers. I love Dante Ferretti and Stuart Craig at the same time. So I was with the people I love in design, and I was there like a little girl with all the my mentors, and it was really nice. And it's funny how it gave me more attention from America than from France. And France, it's not the same, they're scared of me now because I've been nominated. It's the reverse in America. They take you because you have been nominated.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's nice, it's really nice.
Yeah.
I never planned to go there. It just happened. Doing the job with Weedy was like a dream as well, it's like a dream. And then you go to the Oscar, and then he calls you again and again, and then you work with Darren and Damien Chazelle. It just, everything fell in place, and I just enjoyed everything. And with Emmy, we've been nominated as well in the Art Director Guild and Set Decoration Guild for this season. So it's like the designer appreciate what we did, which is nice for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in this final minute or so, I know we've mentioned the second season a few times. Obviously, you can't give too much away, if anything, but was there anything that you can say about what filming was like this time around, and anything you can say at all about what people can expect for this second season?
I think they must expect something more beautiful. It's even more beautiful. Even the sets and what we did is I think stunning, and it's going to be fun. There's lot more than last year. We had a lot of shooting, and I think everyone is going to love it. It's really beautiful.
Wow, that's a very good
and fun.
Very good teaser there. Well, for those of you watching, subscribe for more interviews and head to goldderby.com to make your Emmy predictions. And congrats again on the nomination, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. À bientôt.